Hey guys, this is Mario, the cannabis marketing guy, and I'm about a week into my journey to start a cannabis brand. So I think today marks the 1 week mark, 7 days, and I've got a lot of progress done in these past 7 days. So kind of just to recap some of the things that I've been working on. So one, I made the decision, which is I think huge, and that is a crucial first step. I definitely don't want to minimize that, but really just making the decision to do this, that was the crucial first step, and that was the most important part of this journey. Number two, probably the almost just as important is, I decided that since I am doing this, I wanted to tap into some of the expert resources that I actually had access to. So I've met with a couple of different cannabis business owners just to kind of get their opinion, get their advice, and ultimately I wanted to take all that information and input it into what my strategy would be for this cannabis, most specifically the CBD brand that I'm launching. So I took all that information and we got a plan. And from really talking to a lot of these existing cannabis entrepreneurs, the number one thing that I found that was going to be the most important first step, before getting the logo designed and, all the branding and things like that, was really establishing the business. Not just again, making the decision that I'm going to do this, but legally creating the entity that would be the operating entity that I could, run my cannabis brand under. So I'm going to try to make this as the least boring as possible. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I don't know all those details. But for all this to say, it's that was the critical first step into making sure that everything else would flow smoothly. So without having the corporate legal structure and the business entity that is going to be my cannabis brand established, I wouldn't be able to get a business banking account. And without the business banking account, you can't get a merchant account. And without a merchant account, you can't actually transact. So that was working with the attorney, kind of establishing the appropriate legal structure, filing all the paperwork with the state and doing all that stuff. Was a pretty significant first step. So working with an attorney, getting all that done, and I want to be as transparent as possible in this journey. So if you do have any questions for me about what I did and how I structured it, I'd be happy to share that with you. But I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'll kind of tell you the nuts and bolts. It's not inexpensive, but I guess it's not expensive either. So working with the attorney, I wanted to make sure that I'm going through the attorney to make sure it's done the right way. So the attorney quoted me right around $1,200 to get it done, which I think is affordable. This is a business. There are some expenses, and that's kind of just one of the pay-to-play expenses that is associated with starting any business, is getting the appropriate legal structure. So I'm going to have to go into my pocket and invest that much, which is fine. We're setting it up as an LLC. I don't know the specific reasons why the attorney recommended an LLC, but that's what they recommend, and he's the high-paid expert. So if he says do an LLC, then we're setting it up as an LLC. And so he said it's going to take about a week to go through the filings. But again, I think this is a perfect time, because once that gets started, and more importantly, once that gets down the road, there are other things that I can be doing in this week-long time that it takes. So I'm going to be working on some other critical pieces of the business in these next couple of days while the attorney's doing all the paperwork and the legal filings, etc. And so hopefully within the next couple of days, within about the week's time frame, I'll be able to share with you guys that I am a legal operating business for this cannabis brand. So thanks again for sticking with me, for being interested in this journey. I hope that by following me and kind of understanding what it takes to launch a successful cannabis brand, that it'll inspire you to do the same with your own brand. So feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Stick along for the journey, comment, subscribe, share, do all those great things too. And stay tuned for the next update in this journey about starting the cannabis brand.